What's up guys, it's Matt from TDM Style here and welcome back to the channel. And today I wanted to just take a minute to talk about something that's been kind of a major point of contention lately, and that is the topic of sponsored videos, and more specifically whether or not any of my product reviews are sponsored. So I've been noticing a bit of a trend lately where more and more people seem to be leaving comments on reviews saying things like, this is so obviously sponsored, or, oh, you had nothing negative to say, so this is so biased because you're getting paid by the company, or you're working with the brand and you're not telling us, or whatever. And I'm not just talking about my videos there either. I've been seeing that on like many other reviewers' videos too. You know, so basically it seems like the stance of a lot of viewers now is shifting into this kind of mindset that, like, if the reviewer isn't speaking negatively about the product, or if they're not bashing it in some way or form, that, like, they're not being honest and that they must be being paid by the brand. They must be doing a sponsored video, and that's why everything is positive and it's just an advertisement. So I want to talk about how sponsorships actually work so that we can help to dispel this myth, because that's what it is. It's a fucking myth. And to be totally honest, I'm just getting really tired of typing the same fucking response into like a million different comments about the same thing, so I'm just gonna put everything out there in this video. So these days we are definitely in what you could call the age of the YouTube influencer, and you know, because YouTube is kind of replaced, or is replacing, television for a lot of people. And so as a result of that, a lot of companies and brands are now frequently partnering with YouTube creators to market and advertise their products on this platform. So it's no surprise that the beauty community is a massive one for this, and you know, that kind of trickles down into the kind of men's hair and grooming side of YouTube that we're in now as well. So first of all, this is not a bad thing. I mean, sponsored videos are not inherently bad. I mean, that's what allows a lot of YouTube creators to, you know, do this full time and make a living doing what they love. I mean, that's like the dream, right? However, it does also create a bit of a problem, because a lot of the really big YouTube creators who have a lot of subscribers and they get a lot of views on every video, they can sometimes do sponsored videos very frequently. So I understand that as viewers, you can sometimes feel like you're just constantly getting sponsorships shoved down your throat. And so I think that's part of the reason that that's kind of created this thing where, like, well, if we see anybody on YouTube talking about a product and saying that they really love it, it must be a sponsored video. But now, here's the most important thing to know about sponsored videos, and I think that this is something that maybe a lot of viewers just aren't aware of, or that it's misunderstood or something. But the thing is, if a creator is making a sponsored video or Instagram post or whatever, if you're doing a sponsored anything on the internet and you're getting paid by a company to promote their product, you are required by law, by the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, to make the fact that that video is, or whatever post is sponsored, abundantly clear. So what does that mean? There are specific phrases and hashtags and things that are in the FTC guidelines that they say that you need to put in this video or post so that people are 100% aware that that post is sponsored. So things like, oh, today I've partnered with brand XYZ for this video, blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, hashtag ad, hashtag sponsored, or something like, well, I'd like to thank today's sponsor for helping to bring you this video, blah, 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 blah. So if that creator doesn't have that stuff in their video or post, they are breaking FTC guidelines, and that can cause legal issues, and they can get fined, and just all kinds of shit that nobody ever wants to deal with. Now, does that mean that every creator is always going to be forthcoming and mention that stuff in their posts? Unfortunately, no. There are some shady people out there who will do sponsored posts and just not mention any of it, and I guess they just hope that they don't get caught. And I know that there are brands out there too who put out campaigns looking for influencers who will do these kind of shady DL, like sponsored but don't let anybody know type of videos. You know, there are a lot of videos now out there like exposing that, and how brands are putting out campaigns to pay people to like do a negative review of their competition, and all kinds of shady bullshit. And, you know, so unfortunately that's like a really fucked up thing that goes on, but the only thing that we can do is just hope that the FTC catches these people and brands. And it's just, it is what it is, sadly. I think I need to print that on a t-shirt. So now, what's my stance on this whole thing, and are any of my reviews or whatever videos sponsored? Well, let's start with the short and simple answer. No, none of my product reviews have ever been sponsored, nor will they ever be sponsored, because in my opinion, if a review is sponsored, it's not a review anymore, it's an advert. It's not the same thing. Like if I'm reviewing a product, that's supposed to be me giving you my honest opinions about that product. And if those opinions are being influenced by money, it's not a review anymore. And I don't do that. You know, in all honesty, I've only received like a handful of offers to do sponsored videos. And of those few, I've only ever done one, count them one, sponsored video on my channel, and that was the one that I did, the wardrobe declutter one with Poshmark. And you know, like real talk for a second, I think it's fucking stupid that reviewers now feel like we have to say in our video somewhere like, oh, this is an honest review, or no, this video is not sponsored, or something. And I don't think that that's like necessary, because we do have to tell you if the video is sponsored. So I think it's just silly that we're feeling like, well, if we don't say that it's an honest review, people are gonna assume that it isn't. You know, like that just sucks. Like if I ever am doing a sponsored video, you guys will absolutely know about it, and there will be no question to whether or not that video is sponsored. And as I said before, I don't do sponsored reviews. Now, do brands send me free products? Absolutely, all the time. That's like one of the big perks of being a reviewer, is that, you know, brands will send you their products free of charge in exchange for a review video. That's not the same thing as being sponsored. You know, if a brand wants to send me their products, I am very specific and straight up and forthcoming with them in the emails or however we exchange words, and I say like, look, I'm happy to try out your products, I'm happy to do a review for you, but all my reviews are honest. I like to be forthcoming with my viewers, so if your product sucks, I'm gonna say it sucks. And so far, every single brand that I've reviewed and has sent me stuff has been totally okay with that. Like no brand has been like, well, if you're gonna do an honest review, then we're not gonna send you our shit. You know, at the end of the day, my review videos come down to whether or not that product worked well for me. And I've been very fortunate so far to have used a lot of products that do work well for me. So I haven't really had any like super overly negative videos. Now I have had kind of a change of heart on some products, which is why I started that product revisit series, because that's just how shit happens. Like you use a product for a while, and when you first have it, you might think like, yeah, this is great. And then later you might get something else that makes that first one look like crap, and you don't use it anymore, and you decide like, well, actually it wasn't that great. So that's why I started the product revisit series, so that I could just kind of portray that information to you guys. So really, the goals that I have when I make review videos are to test the product very thoroughly and show you guys exactly how it works for me in my hair type, and present you with enough useful information that will hopefully be helpful to you in deciding whether or not that product will also work for you and your hair. And you know, if you watch one of my reviews and you've also used that product and your opinion of the product is totally different to mine, that's totally okay. That's what reviews are for. And they're, you know, with hair products, a lot of the time how good or bad it works for people depends greatly on your hair type. And there are so many different hair types. So of course there are going to be some reviewers that love a product and some that maybe hate it. But just, you know, if your opinion is different from mine, that doesn't mean that I'm being biased or that my video is sponsored. We're opinions. Like when you watch reviews, whether they're mine or somebody else's, you're watching the video for the reviewer's opinion and their thoughts on how that product works for them. So, you know, do I like some brands more than others? Absolutely. That's just the way it is. Like certain brands just work very well for me compared to other brands. So, you know, something that works amazing for my hair might be absolute shit for somebody with a hair type opposite to mine, and they might have a negative review of it while mine is positive. That doesn't make either of us wrong or biased. It's just that it's our thoughts on the product and how it worked for our hair types. So at the end of the day, as viewers, it's up to you guys to look at that information and then decide based on that and your hair type whether the product would be a good fit for you. All right, so what about the future now? Am I going to be doing any type of sponsored content? Maybe. You know, I'm not against the idea. Like I said, no, I will not do sponsored reviews, but I'm open to the idea of doing sponsored videos for other things as long as the brand that's offering that sponsorship is a brand that I actually like and that I believe in. You know, like, let's be real. YouTube is not a lucrative thing for me. So I'm not just like grabbing any old sponsorship to make money. I don't do this for money. I do this as a hobby for fun because it's something that I enjoy and that I'm passionate about. Like I said, would it be great to have my channel like blow up and become huge and have this become a lucrative thing for me, that I could like do something that I love doing and make money doing it? Yeah, of course. Like I said, that's the dream. But that's not a reality right now. I mean, and I have in real life, I have a full-time job that has nothing to do with hairstyling, and that's what pays the bills. And this is just for fun. So that's about it for this video, guys. I hope that it was informative. I hope it answered all of your questions. I mean, if you do have any other questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them for you. But really, I hope that this helps to shed a little bit of light on the truth behind how sponsorships actually work and how none of my reviews are fucking sponsored. So stay tuned for later this week. I have the review coming up of this guy right here, the Apothecary 87 matte paste. I've been wanting to do that for a while, so that's coming this weekend, hopefully, as long as I have time to finish up the video. I'm going to be away for a con this weekend, but I'm going to try to get that done before I leave. So if you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button down below to keep up to date with all my upcoming content. And as always, thank you guys so much for coming by and watching, and we'll see you at the next one.